you. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
It's nice to be in San Diego, isn't it? Couple of things I'll add. First of all, I think many of you are aware, AT&T got very heavily into this business about 3 years ago. And the research that we're talking about is very important. We saw this vision. We saw it multiple years ago. We put a whole team in place. We built my organization. What I'd say is that really what's exciting is we're really just scratching the surface. I mean, when you really look at the numbers that were just put up, they're very impressive. They're really big. They're good job security for us up here. But really more importantly is I think that we are just starting to understand how big this space is going to be and how fast it's growing. We did create the Emerging Device Group 3 years ago. Why? I think it was said well. You know, we saw saturation happen. We saw things happening in the industry. We were looking for that next big thing that was going to happen from a standpoint of wireless growth. And that next big thing is this. This is where the business is going. A lot of questions that I get on a regular basis from many of you in the audience who I know well is around, you want detail. Give me one number. What's ARPU? That's not about what the space is about. The space is about multiple verticals, multiple opportunities, new business models, and finding a way to grow. As a carrier, I'm an old carrier guy, 22 years in. You know, we were pretty, difficult to do business with. I imagine people would say a few years ago it was about a 2-year contract and this and that. We've had to change. I think AT&T's led that change. One of the things I'm most proud of is even though the space is growing, we crossed 13 million subscribers in our Emerging Device Group last quarter, and I'm happy about that. But like I said, when you look at the numbers, a number like 12 billion, a number like 1.2 trillion, we again are just getting this started. It's just the very beginning of the growth curve. A couple of things that are also important. How we can be successful. The only way you're going to be successful is to look at the business differently. To be open to new business models, to be open to how the ecosystem works together to drive this business. 3 years ago, the biggest obstacle was module pricing. It's not today, right? We've worked with great partners, one sitting next to me, to make sure that we look at how do we get that module cost down, how do we make the BOM cost reasonable, and how do we deliver a great solution to the customer. The only way, by the way, we're going to be successful in this is to make sure the end user wants to buy it. And we make it simple for the end user. One of the things that concerns me most when you start seeing the numbers that we're talking about is people get nervous about, well, if every device in my life is connected, that gets very confusing, right? And that's kind of complicated. Our job is to make sure it's not confusing, and that it's very simple. The example of the Kindle is a great example. The example of this device is a great example. We've made it very simplistic and not intimidating to have that connected device. And as we move into the home and the car, and these other places, we have to do that. If we don't, we're going to fail. So us as an ecosystem have to get together and figure out how we do that better and how we make sure the customer walks away being the winner. Last but certainly not least, this work was very important. We were proud to be a part of it. We think it validates where we were going. We think it gives us something to work with from the standpoint of a very, very concrete number. It also raised my quota. I'm just kidding. But it does. I mean, it really puts some pressure on us as carriers to go find where this growth is. And whether it's 13 verticals or 20 verticals, the ultimate thing we all should take away is everything that has current running through it will be connected. Whether it's connected through Wi-Fi, whether it's connected through Bluetooth, Z-Wave, pick your poison, they're all going to be connected because they need to be smarter. So we're glad to be here and look forward to the Q&A here in a few minutes.